Hey everybody, this is Living History Militaria. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend. I know I am, because I'm going to be going over another additions video here, and all this stuff is going to go back up on the shelf and displayed nicely. Got a lot of stuff here, a lot of new autographs. Give you a quick pan here. Some garage sale stuff. Some cool things, so let's get into it. So first up here, I'm going to go over some Garrison caps. Got 3 more. This one's just a plain khaki one with G.M. Sykes stamped on the inside. It is a 7 3/8 size, and I don't think there was any date on it. I think it was just the name tag on that one. This one is a nice Army Air Corps, as you can tell by the blue and gold piping here. This is also a 7 3/8, and I also can't remember if this one had anything on it or not, besides a couple of moth holes on the side of it. And I got another khaki officer's Garrison cap here. You can tell by the blue, this is either black and gold or black and silver piping. There's the officers. And then this one has a name in it also, Timori. And then looks like there's something stamped on this side. 2253647 maybe? Some series of numbers, but some more Garrison caps. Right here we got some 20mm shells. 3 of them are empty. Let's see, this one is dated 1942, just has a 42 stamp up there at the very top. This one is a 20mm 1944. This is a Mark IV. This one is a 1944, also a Mark IV. And this one still has the business end in it. And this one is a Mark II, 1943. Oop, special thing about this one is you can take this out, and we have a trench lighter and a runaway shell. Oops. Let's put these up here. You have a trench lighter made out of this bullet here. You had just is missing the flint in here, but you have your wick and your wheel, and if you flip it upside down, you can actually unscrew the fuse cap, and inside you have your wick wool, which is pretty cool. So I didn't even know that the lighter was a thing. The pictures I had seen were just the 4 shells, and this slid into the top like it was when I showed it to you, but it was a nice surprise when I had taken it out to inspect it. So 4 pieces of ordnance and 1 piece of trench art. And right here I got some photos. Just want to send a quick warning out because there might be some disturbing content. Well, there is some disturbing content that some people might not find too pleasant to look at, so just a heads up there. I'm going to put on my glove here, and we'll go ahead and get into it. Right here on the top, have a bunch of Luftwaffe comrades. Oop, my gosh, sliding around. Whole bunch of them. No writing on the back of that one. This one, I believe Luftwaffe soldiers also pulling behind a friend on some skis on a horse. And there is writing on this one, and it's that July 20th, 1943. I don't know any of that, so if anybody can read that, there you go. Right here I got 2 related pictures. Got a officer here with 2 dogs in a horse-drawn carriage in front of what looks like a barn or some sort of farmstead. And then a another picture of the same guy and his two dogs, but a close-up, and then there's a guy in the back. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now we're getting into some of the more heavier pictures here. Right here, I'm not sure if these are German. I think that's a German soldier in the back. I can't tell. I can't remember. With KIA Russians being prepared for burial here. That's on the back. Right here, have a fallen Russian soldier. Looks like his horse died with him. So a really powerful picture. Nothing on the back of that one. And this one right here is the crazy one. Two Finnish soldiers holding up remains of what are probably past Russian soldiers. After the snow had melted, there was a lot of frozen corpses and remains that had been kind of unearthed. So that is what that is right there. And also for paper items, a couple of freebies thrown in with a couple of autographs that I bought. This is a postcard from the University of Berlin, which is pretty cool. No date on it or nothing, but there you go. And I'm not exactly sure what this one is here. Not sure what kind of postcard that is, but if anybody knows, let me know. So up here, these are the items that I had mentioned in a previous video. I went to a garage sale, a neighborhood-wide garage sale. Found a guy that was selling a lot of military stuff. Got to talking to him, and he was a Vietnam War vet for, I can't remember how many years, but I was talking to him for probably the better part of 2 hours. And he got me a good deal on all this stuff. And he's a local guy, real nice. So I managed to get a couple items here, a couple mess kits that I don't have. A US AGM company, 1942. It's in decent shape. And right here, a US EA company, 1945. I think I have a 43, a 44. Now I have a 45. So filling in some missing dates. I think I paid $10 each for those. Right here, got a 1975, so Vietnam War era canteen, and it was attached to this. I think this is the Alice belt. I'm not sure. I'm not too positive on my Vietnam gear, but the plastic canteen. And on the back, I think this one is a M1967. There you can see 1975 right there in the middle. So, canteen to add to my Vietnam gear collection. And right in here, got some neat stuff. Got a homemade garrote here, which is made out of some sort of bendable, flexible cord. Like it, you can bend it and it stays. It's very thick. It's almost like a braided wire or some sort. It almost looks like my German headset radio wire. And it's wrapped up in this electrical tape, really, really tight around these two wooden dowels. Now, the vet that I was talking to said he knew the guy that had made these, so said that he was a one of the guys that went out in patrols to go and capture high value targets and stuff like that. How true that is, I'm not too sure, but from the stories he was telling me, he was definitely in combat. right here, I got a good deal on this one. I think this was $5 or $10. A military canteen. However, this one has a C engraved on the bottom. Let's see here if I can get this open with one hand. There we go. Ta-da! U.S. LF&C Company, 1918. So not a World War II, but a World War I canteen cup. Wicked cool. I don't have one of these, so found this in with the mess tin stuff. And in with that, one of the mess tins had a full set of silverware. But check this out. We got U.S. marked, stamped, stainless. I can't remember who makes this one. Silco Stainless, I think, made both of these. The spoon. This one's a stainless one. This one, however, knife, instead of it being metal, is made out of plastic or Bakelite. An LF&C Company, 1941. Stamped U.S. Really neat. Never seen one that had a black handle and was actually dated before, so I think I lucked out with those. All right, my last little segment here is going to be on autographs. Right here, I got a nice two-piece. These both belong to Major Urban Ben Drew. And if you'd like, you can pause it right here and read a little bit about his military time. So we have an autograph here. This is from the Cavanaugh Flight Museum. And with that came a reproduction patch of the 361st, I believe, Fighter Squadron. Or the 375th, one of the two. But this one is also signed. This is a big size patch too. Really cool though. It's got Donald Duck on the front. Underneath that, up top, we have a first edition cover of the sinking of the Scharnhorst. And this is signed right down here by Helmut Bokoff, who was one of, I think, 36 survivors from the sinking of the Scharnhorst. And with that, there came some information. Oops. It has a whole bunch of info cards. There we go. This is almost like a reprint of the London Gazette. Also has signatures right here. Survivors of the sinking of the 26th of December 1943. And Helmut Bokoff right down here. That is his signature right down there in the bottom right. So we have this neat little paper. And there's a couple of information cards and photographs. This was provided by Helmut Bokoff. This was the Scharnhorst, I believe. Here we got the survivors boarding the HMS Belfast, I believe. Here's a picture of the HMS Belfast. And there's a little info card on the sinking and whatnot. And a picture of the front. Really cool. I like that it came with all of those. Let me put those back. And that back with that. And let me get these papers organized and we'll go on to the next one. All right, there we go. So right here is a double whammy because we have two signatures here. This is from the sinking of the HMS Hood, which I already have. A signature from Signalman Ted Briggs, who is at the top right there. But this one makes it even more unique and more special because this is signed by two survivors of the three survivors from the sinking of the HMS Hood. This one also has the signature of Bob Tilburn. You can see there he was in the twin 4-inch AA gun turret, and his survival story is pretty incredible, as are all three of their stories, actually. Right here, you can pause this if you'd like and read about the sinking of the Bismarck. There's a picture of Mr. Tilburn and a picture of Mr. Briggs. So, to have 2 out of the 3 survivors of the ship signed on one piece is an incredible addition to my autograph collection. And I have saved the best for last here. This is a beautiful print of a F4F Hellcat, or Wildcat, sorry. You can see here it is signed by the artist. This is also signed by 4 Medal of Honor recipients and flying aces. Starting over here, we have James Sweat from Marine Fighting Force, or Marine Fighting Squadron 221. Jefferson DeBlanc from Marine Fighting Squadron 112. This one is faded, but it is still here. This is Joe Foss, who flew in Marine Fighting Squadron 121 and also has an incredible life story. He helped create the NFL, actually, by being a chairman in the American Football League. And right here, Robert Gaylor, who flew with Marine Fighting Squadron 224. So if you'd like, I encourage you to look up, they all have interviews here on YouTube, and they're an incredible story. Most of them had ditched their airplanes at least once. Mr. DeBlanc here had swam, I think, for at least an hour to shore, and then survived 2 nights in the jungle on coconuts, and then was captured by a tribe of natives who then traded him to a different tribe of natives for a sack of rice, and then those natives ended up bringing him to the Coast Guard, the Australian Coast Guard, I believe. So he has an incredible story. He got his wristwatch shot off right off his wrist in mid-flight by a Japanese Zero. So I would definitely encourage you guys to learn about these brave men here. Here is an awesome picture. The guy that I had bought this from brought the print to be signed by all 4 of these. So he met all 4 of them in person and took this picture too. So here is all 4 of them. This is, let's see, that is Jefferson DeBlanc. I believe that is Joe Foss there. I think that is Bob Gaylor. And this is James Sweat. Oh, actually, it tells you right there. There you go, left or right. I think I got that, though. Boom. But yeah, a really awesome piece. This is definitely a crown jewel in my collection. I don't have any Medal of Honor recipients, and to have 4 of them, plus have them be fighter aces, is just incredible. It's an amazing piece of history. But that is all I have for you guys for additions, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in again and for all the love and support. Keep commenting, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.